Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks at Ungainly Titan. We're in the Northwest, standard battle. It's an old battle that I recorded earlier in the year, and it's interesting, I think, but it's one of these ones you need to keep an eye on. The minimap, I think, to really appreciate what's going on. You'll see as the battle unfolds. The other thing is that this is Sunday, the Sunday 24th. And I've just spent the weekend playing Civilization 6 Rise and Fall, and Steam sales are on at the moment, and somebody pointed it out to me on Thursday, so I went off and looked at my wish list. I purchased a bunch of stuff, Steam, obviously Rise and Fall Civilization 6 being one of them. The other was the XCOM 2 bundle, so I have all the XCOM 2 games and expansions, which are busily downloading over the whole weekend since then. Rise and Fall, yes, I've been practically spent the whole weekend playing it, as in from Friday afternoon, probably straight through to 5:30 on Saturday morning. Got up, started around noon and did it again. Not as late, I finished around 1 o'clock Saturday night, Sunday morning. It adds a lot to the game. I couldn't see myself going back to vanilla Civilization 6 again after having played it a couple of times. Anyhow, and probably hadn't played enough vanilla Civilization 6 either. I mean, I would say that I was an expert who even fully understood the mechanics of the game. So now we're about to make contact with the enemy on this game, and it looks like, we're reasonably well distributed at this point in the game, and we're strong. We're strong on all fronts. This is it's a tier 10 game. There are tier 10 tanks in the game. And this is a dangerous corner. Look, fortunately there's no artillery. But it's very easy if you advance past this point to get yourself into serious trouble with crossfires. Guy up there on the hill as well. And we're going to try and put a round into him. Just bounce that one. So I was pretty much paying attention to what I was doing, more or less, I think, rather than attention to the map. We are pretty strong, but some of them are late arriving on the eastern side of the map. But I have company here with me, some pretty serious company. There's a T-95 here beside me. And I'm not sure what the tank destroyer is, but I don't think anything else is going to do much to the front of a T-95. It's a very difficult tank to penetrate. Put that round into the Capture King Tiger. It looks like I put it through the front drive wheel, and it was piping up in the air enough for me to get that shot off. All I can say is that he's a brave guy with that few hit points to be sticking his nose out in front of a T-95. Now at this point the T-95 signals to go back and defend the base. And I actually took him at his word and decided to turn around and actually do it. And I'm not 100% why I did it, because it doesn't look like we need to do it. It looks like we're pretty strong on this side of the map, and it also looks like we're holding our own on the western side of the map. But in hindsight, I think it was probably the right decision to make. And what's interesting here is how it develops from this point on, because I'm coming back, and at the moment you'd sort of wonder why am I doing it, that the guys are holding their own pretty well. And we're up tanks as well, so the advantage is actually on our side. But it is a problem with this map in the sense that if you are at one extreme, the centre is isolated. It takes a long time to drive through the centre of the map, and you are vulnerable to fire from the edges of the map when you're going through the centre. Well, particularly from the western and northern edge. Now I'm using the long reload in this tank just to relocate, because where I was isn't a great position, and what I was afraid of at the time, and what I think the enemy should have done, was more or less immediately ignore the tanks that are the two tanks in front of them, and actually go across the railway line and start coming at those tanks from the south, so that they're engaged into the north and to the south, rather than just coming around under the railway bridge and engaging them there. I think that was a mistake on the enemy's part. But you'll notice that I'm not the only one now that's returning. 3 other tanks that were heading up on the eastern side of the map have actually decided to return, including that tank destroyer at the bottom. That he was the first after me to react. And well, the position in tanks, relatively speaking, is more or less the same, but because our guys have pulled back, they're starting to engage already with the enemy tanks. And like, it's more than just me. There's four of us have actually pulled down that attack that was going on the eastern side of the map. So instead of a 3-1 here, this is now 6. It's 2-1. It's 6 against 3. Does leave the guys that were attacking the base a bit more exposed, but they're still having a numeric advantage of 2-1. Whereas if everybody had kept going, we would have like 6-1 up above, and the guys would actually be outnumbering our crowd down here, and then it would be a question of who got to the gap first would decide who won. So we've turned what could have been a cap race into a surefire victory. There's, given the numbers that's around at this point, there's almost no chance for us losing. I just switched fire to the Emil there because I no longer had a line of sight on the KV4. We have, that's one of the tier 10s that was over on the eastern side of the map coming back to get involved in this fight here, and that finishes it off. So there's only one remaining enemy tank now, and he's up at the northern edge of the map. And well, I suppose you can't blame them with this guy. Our two boys have decided not to bother with the cap circle, they're just going straight after him, but they know there's a remaining enemy tank out there, so I'm not going to get involved at the very back. Might just, no, there's too many heaps of stuff between me and it, and I'm not going to get any further shot in on this thing. But I can definitely recommend Civilization 6 Rise and Fall. The Rise and Fall expansion, I think, adds a lot to the game. I think Civ is a big improvement. Civ 6 is a big improvement over Civ 5. I thought I liked a lot of things they did in Civilization 5, but I thought once you got figured it out, it was a bit too easy, and it was a bit too easy, which made it a little bit boring. The unless you sort of got rid of war, didn't try to avoid fighting wars, and just tried to win using culture and other methods, it was just a little bit too easy. Civ, they've got it much better. Similar mechanics, but they've done it better. So anyway, we finish up here. We did 2,000 damage. Got a second class mastery with a sniper. Got a nice amount of silver as well. 99,000. Became number 3 by experience. That T110 E5 there had almost got a top gun. And that score there shows, if you look at the damage that I did, that if you have your big slow lumbering tier 8 heavy, even in a tier 10 game, you can get respectable damage out of it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you've not already done so, please give the channel a subscription. I'll catch you all again soon, and bye for now.